3 gym days, 3 ride days, and 1 rest day. Here's how I build endurance for a year-long bike tour. In this video, I'm going to go over exactly how I train for my upcoming bike tour starting on May 1st, 2026. I'm going to go over my simple schedule, which consists of 6 days a week and 1 day of rest. And I'm going to go over my diet as well that I am on so I can help me lose weight, because I am technically in a calorie deficit and I'm trying to get down to a certain weight as well. So this is my schedule that I do Monday or Sunday through Saturday. So Monday, Wednesday, and Friday I go to the gym, and I have 2 separate workouts that I do conduct in when I go to the gym. On Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, that's when I go on bike rides. It's starting to get cold out now, and soon I'm taking my bike to get refurbished and getting an entire new drivetrain installed onto the bike. So my rides will be limited here soon, and eventually I will be switching to the gym 6 days a week, whereas every other day I'll go to the gym to work out, and then every other day I'll go to the gym to ride the bike, if that makes sense. This type of schedule works for me because, one, I don't want to overcomplicating strength training. Nobody needs to do that, especially when you get older. When you get older, you don't actually have to go to the gym as much as you think. 3 times a week is pretty much optimal for people that are 30s and above, and I'm 36 years old. Not to mention, alternating these days for, strength training and bike rides just prevents the burnout. And I've been through this before, where I used to be a gym bro basically, and I'd go to the gym 5 days a week, and it literally would just wreck me mentally, because you just, some days you just wouldn't get good lifts, some days you get great lifts. So some days would just be excruciating, some days wouldn't be, and it just caused burnout real fast. But as you're training to get ready for a bike tour, I highly recommend everybody train before they go on a bike tour, period. And that involves strength training and bike riding as well. So like I mentioned before, I have 2 separate workouts that I do in the gym. The first workout is, I call it workout A, and it's like a chest focused workout. And I usually do a chest press, a shoulder press, some kind of tricep extension, and then I'll do a couple of leg accessories. So I usually mix legs. So instead of having a dedicated leg day, I just mix leg exercises into my 2 workouts that I have pre-planned to make it easier and condense the schedule more, make it more user friendly. The leg accessories I do on the first workout, or workout A, the chest workout, is calf raises, and then I'll do leg curls, and then I'll do leg extensions. That is all I do for that day. The workout B is more of a back and bicep focus, but it still has leg exercises incorporated. So I usually do assisted pull-ups right now because I'm overweight and I'm pretty shitty at pull-ups, so I have to use the assisted machine. I don't really care for the lat pull-down machine, like the cable lat pull-down. I just think you're better off just doing pull-ups because it's more of a functional thing, in my opinion. I'll be traveling full-time. You never know when you might fly off a cliff and you need to do a pull-up and get over the cliff. So I need to practice pull-ups, and a lot of people in the world can actually not do pull-ups. You'd be surprised how many people can't do a single pull-up. So my workout B is pull-ups assisted for now, and then I'll do cable rows just to help with doing better back exercise. Well, the pull-ups, I'm sorry. And then I'll do preacher curl, the preacher curl machine, just to help with the biceps, which makes doing pull-ups a lot easier. The leg exercises that I do is the hack squat machine, which is brutal, and I highly recommend everybody use it. A nice decent squat to get you ready for a bike tour. I use the hack squat machine on that day, and then I'll do the leg curls, and that's the only 2 leg exercises I do on workout B. So like I said, on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, that's when I jump on my bike and I'll go ride on the bike path where I'm living. So I currently live in the Dayton metro area. I won't exactly tell you guys obviously where I live, but I live in the Dayton metro area, and the bike path system around here is insane. Like, for example, I can start riding from Riverside, Ohio, and the bike path literally, as far as I've went so far, goes all the way to Miamisburg, and that's at least 20 miles just one way. So I like to train 3 days a week just riding, just to keep that consistency going. I'll be 100% honest with you guys. You do not need to train at all when it comes to When I say like you don't need to train for a bike tour, I mean you don't actually have to ride a bike to train. You technically don't. When I first left West Virginia a few months back to go to here in Ohio to start getting ready for this big bike tour, I didn't train. I didn't even ride my bike for months, and I just left West Virginia, started riding across the state of Ohio, and it took me 6 days to get to where I'm at now. However, only the first 3 days were pretty brutal. So technically, no, you don't have to train when it comes to bike touring. You don't have to ride. And if you do train, like as far as riding, like if you ride for training, you don't actually have to ride with full gear either. I don't ride with full gear. It's like every now and again I will, but once you throw the gear on, the gear really doesn't make that much of a difference. I think the biggest difference that the load has on you is it might reduce the amount of miles you ride a day by maybe 5 miles. That's just like scientifically speaking. And it might kind of mess with your handling a little bit, but if anything, it actually might make you go faster when you go downhill, obviously, but it really doesn't make that much of a difference. If anything, handling is the biggest difference, but you don't really need to train much. But I do recommend it at the same time, because like once you start your bike tour and you've trained for months, you're just gonna jump on it and just start and be fine. And that's what I am trying to get across to you guys here in this video is, yes, training is not necessary, but is it worth it? Absolutely. When I'm actually touring, the most amount of miles I usually try to average a day is about 30 to 50. That's like an average. And typically when I ride full-time touring, I typically want to do 10 miles and then you'll stop for about an hour, then do 10 miles and stop for an hour. And that's usually my pace when I tour, which makes it insanely easy. So when I train, before the tour, I'll go ride 30 to 40 miles and not stop at all. And that's just to build endurance. So when I do those little 10 mile intervals, it's not as demanding physically. Another reason why I do the bike rides as well is, one, you need to get used to the weather. It's going to rain, it's going to snow, it's going to be windy, it's going to be hot, it's going to be cold. You got to get used to all those elements and kind of test yourself and kind of train on how to layer, how to properly dress, how to deal with all those mitigating factors. The great thing about this Dayton, Ohio Metro bike paths is there is actually a decent amount of hills. So that's also a nice training thing. I highly recommend people to take hills. Don't ever walk up hills when you're training. Definitely ride them, because it builds different muscles when you walk compared to riding. So when it comes to like training, as far as technology, I use Strava specifically to basically track my entire rides when it comes to training, but I also will use Strava to track my rides while I'm on tour, just to see how many miles and overall what I'm doing. As far as route planning though, I just use Ride with GPS, but I don't plan routes when I train for a bike, for just training. I am also eating in a calorie deficit because I am technically obese in that range. If you do the TDE, which is the total daily energy expenditure website, you can use, there's multiple websites that have basically the same concept. You type in your age, your weight, your activity level, which ranges from sedentary, which is you sitting around doing nothing all day, to heavy exercise, you just constantly moving around doing shit. And it kind of calculates how many calories you should eat to either lose weight, maintain weight, or gain weight. So I'll plug in that website here so you guys can see. And if you ever want to go into calorie deficit to lose weight, to be healthy, or you guys want to bulk up and get jacked, TDEE is what it's called, or total daily energy expenditure. I'm doing it because I need to reduce the weight on my bike. This morning I weighed like 215. I'm trying to get down to 180. So I can have like a decent weight on my bike so it doesn't break down the bike easier, because that was another issue with me last year. Well, I was a little bit heavy set and I was carrying way too much shit, and I was breaking rear wheels like it was going out of style. And of course, Sunday is always rest day. I think everybody should take at least one rest day minimum to recover all your muscles, recover your central nervous system before you continue training, and that includes on tour as well. I highly recommend people to take at least one day off while you're on tour, just to recover and just have a normal day. That's essential for your body, you know what I'm saying? And even if you're just a normal average Joe working a 9 to 5, going to the gym a couple days a week, I still recommend you take those rest days, because it's important to have, especially the older you get, you need more recovery. Sleep as well. So that is everything I do to train for a bike tour. You guys, everybody that watches this video can implement all these things to become a better bike tourist, or you can go on your first adventure if you want to. Highly recommend everybody to train just because it makes things a lot easier. It makes your daily rides on tour so much more smoother, so much more chill and more exciting, and you can enjoy it more. Definitely train. Plus it's good for your body and your mind to train and be physically active. Everybody should be doing it. There should be no fat people in the world, and I'm totally against that shit, by the way, in case anybody wants to know. But anyway, that's how I train for a bike tour, guys. If you do enjoy this video, I highly recommend you guys subscribe to the channel. Starting May 1st, 2026, I will be traveling the entire United States by bicycle. So if you guys are interested in bike touring and travel, definitely check me out. Definitely subscribe to the channel. Much love, guys, and I'll see you on the road.